Counting down in 3, 2, 1.
Sweet Yamz, show me the way.
And what's up, everybody? We are back. Welcome back to the Underground Culture Podcast. My name is Jake. No need for the OB if you know me. And as always, I got my illustrious co-host with me, Rodney, aka King. Say what's up to the people, bro.
Hey, how y'all feeling? We back again. Hey,
We
how you
are,
feeling,
we
bro?
are back. I'm good, man. I'm good. You and I were catching up on some things before we hit that record button, and life is seemingly going well for both of us. There's a lot that's going on. Some financial things that are taking place and have taken place for me at least, and things are on the up and up, and it's going to be a good year for 2022, man. So
yeah.
I'm excited for this new year. What about you, man?
Oh man, I've been good. Been having to readjust a few things, and I feel like I'm finally kind of getting reacclimated from just kind of having to change my schedule.
Yeah.
And everything, and kind of just make more time. But I've been working on a lot of different things, got some assistance from a friend of mine to build a media kit up, because I think it's funny. I think I never seen myself as a person who was more behind the scenes, at least in recent years. But I guess so much of what I've done has been a lot of like just producing and like things that are like structural and technical and things like that more than anything. Yeah. Because anytime I do jump out in front of the camera and do something focusing on me, people are always like, why don't you do more of this? Why? And I'm like, I know, I've heard it. I've gotten all the things now. Yeah. And this year was definitely a year to lean into it. Yeah. And I think I've accumulated enough examples of the type of work I could do for myself and others. That she kind of just, poured into me. It was just like, hey, like we need to, she was like, I don't know if you got a media kit, but you really need to get one. And I want you to start drafting these types of pitches and things like that, because you definitely deserve to be right in line with so many other people who are literally just getting paid to live their life.
I agree, man. I agree. You're good at this.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. And like, it's funny because when she like said it, I really had to have a real thoughtful moment with myself of like, you know what, I guess I always have been that type of person. Before it was considered like an influencer, before that became like an archetype. I've always told people this is what you can do for this. So this is this type of shit. So I definitely have always had that type of energy and mannerism. So just seeing what aligns with me, seeing what makes sense, and being able to create content around that.
I think you were just doing what like you felt was right. You know what I'm saying? In terms of if you like staying behind the camera or staying off the mic and producing, I feel like that only sharpened your skills.
Hell yeah.
Enticed you to do different things and meet different people and network. So I think you did the right thing.
I think so too.
Yeah, and you can see it too, like from the beginning stages of your pod, where it was strictly audio, and then like even the audio got like more crisp. Mm-hmm. And then you started videos, and like the videos just get better and better and better and better. So like things are coming up on the up and ups for you as well, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Man. Yeah. So I got lucky, you know what I'm saying? I got you as my partner here. So it just works out, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that we met, 6 years ago now? Damn. Yeah, 6 years. Yeah, 2015, that's crazy, bro. It's true. It's really nice. True. The years be flying.
Yeah, they do. But all right, but let's hop into this convo, man. I want to get the sad stuff out of the way.
Yeah, let's talk about
with the recent passing of Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
So I first heard of Off-White, 2014, I think, 2015?
Something like that, yeah. I feel like that was definitely around that time where it really hit, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure.
If it was, because I believe he was already had like capsule pieces and like
he was already designing things. For sure.
I think RSVP. I think he did some stuff with RSVP.
Okay.
He had some local stuff. We talking about like pre Joe Fresh, pre Fat Tiger in Chicago. Like he was really a part of that really really early kind of like streetwear style scene in Chicago with Don C and Kanye and all of them. Yeah. And I just learned this. I didn't even know exactly because I thought he was like born and raised. Evidently, he grew up in Rockford. And he came to Chicago. He came to Chicago and kind of, got in the mix of the fashion, local streetwear fashion. But yeah, bro. 2014. I think it was about 2014 for Off-White. Yeah.
So Off-White was like, man, as soon as it got, reposted on Instagram and Twitter, like it took off, man. Like remember, I think it was a belt, or if it was like overall straps, and it was basically just like Off-White, and it was like Off-White in black letters, but the straps were yellow. I think it was a belt. Or like a bag. It was dope. And it was just different. Like I never really cared too much to like want to get into fashion or be fashionable.
Yeah.
But he made that shit sexy. Like he made it cool. You know what I'm saying? Because like he like strictly brought out the urban fashion and kind of cross-pollinated with the high-end fashion.
Yeah.
And just made it look good and like sleek and simple. He didn't try to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
And then obviously he got into the sneaker game and that shit took off.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really like I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to, you know, shop. That's my favorite brand of all time. But but Virgil's like Off-White, just his sense of style was incredible. So it's crazy, man. People like that, so successful. You know, you never know what people are going through, and then they keep something from you, and not that they need to express that information.
Exactly.
But that's crazy, man. Like him and Chadwick, bro. Like they both had cancer and just didn't say anything. Oh, I mean, the only people that knew were their families.
Yeah. I feel like honestly, they gave us a hell of a lesson of just, you know. I think I see somebody tweet about it, talking about like, you know, how people had the perspective that they were suffering in silence. And I think somebody had came in and said, well, not silent it was only silent to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can imagine that his loved ones and the people who, you know, shouldn't be in the know certainly knew, but it's all about kind of like having perspective. Like, are we going to be sad and mournful already while they still alive? Like, they're still here. Like, yes. Yeah. Are they unwell? Are they dealing with something? Yes. But which one are we going to lean into? Are we going to lean into the real reality of the situation that they are, yes, unwell, but also still very much alive? Or are we going to already start kind of singing that, you know what I'm saying, singing the Gravedigger song? And that's I think that's why these people, specifically Chadwick and Virgil, did so much prior to, you know, them transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They definitely did not, you know, let up on the gas.
Yeah.
They literally, like, both of them literally, like we talking about, Virgil literally had a show just a few days ago.
Yeah.
And then literally Chadwick Boseman dies, and I believe the Five Bloods, What If, I want to say, and maybe one other piece that he was in. The one by Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Yeah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So we talking about like 3 to 4 projects that came out post death. So he was working. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yes. And that's incredible.
And that's incredible. And his filmography is like undeniable. Like he literally came out the gate playing legends.
Yeah.
And only played legends. Like characters. We talking about
Thurgood Marshall.
James Brown.
Jackie Robinson.
Fucking T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? It goes on and on.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Even when he played fictional characters, they were still very fucking epic. You know what I'm saying? Very fucking epic. Like, you seen the Five Bloods? It's a trip.
That's good. Yeah,
it's definitely. You don't got to watch it too many times. It's good. That's how good it is. Like,
it's good. Spike Lee, man. That was a good movie.
Great job with that one. But Virgil, I think I feel like they mentioned it on maybe 2 episodes ago on the Roy and Mal podcast when they spoke about Virgil saying like he made streetwear into streetwear into something where it has to now be considered high-end fashion.
It has to.
So now you can go into these like these high-end restaurants and they see you in literally Off-White. You pull up with the pea coat and a whole Off-White hoodie on and some Off-White ones. And that's literally, it's probably 10 people in there who look just like you. So it's like, you kind of fit in. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely not about to turn you away. You got on literally the most expensive item than everybody else in this damn room right now, even though you look the most casual.
So I, in my personal opinion, I believe that he was I wouldn't say the only artist, but he was the one that got the narrative across to the other side of like streetwear and urban fashion is high-end fashion now.
It is.
And he, like, I wouldn't say single-handedly because he had a great team, and to be, you know, if we want to, you know, talk, you know, historical facts, what's his name? Damn, I just had his name in my head right now. The one that was the guy that was basically making his own, or making you know, his own set of clothes, or for artists, you know, for rappers in New York back in the 80s and 90s. Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan was the one that was I can make your shit look better than what you're making it. You know what I'm saying? And he did that.
And he did that.
Like he made dope ass bags. He was doing cars. He was making incredible outfits. And like, look where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Virgil. Like so these people that literally changed the narrative for streetwear are, well, you know, except with the passing of Virgil, like these people were running, you know, the creative direction of Louis Vuitton and Prada and Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So it's incredible.
It is incredible because I think it's crazy when you think about it, even from a technical standpoint. Like if we're talking about high fashion, innovation, all these different things, streetwear fits into all those different categories because we're talking about being able to repurpose items that were meant for other things. Like just think about how workwear and like military fatigue and so many different types of items that have a whole different purpose now being repurposed to be fashionable. Yeah. Not being now we're directing those particular brands to make sure they're creating and tailoring their things to these things. So you have Carhartt that's doing things that they probably would never do. Like Carhartt, it's some things that Carhartt does now that they didn't ever have to do. Like this isn't even about work gear anymore. This is
it was strictly like for construction workers.
Yeah, it's point. Now y'all getting kind of jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have to make this corduroy vest look like this.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that corduroy jacket is the shit. Dog.
Yeah, you don't gotta make this shit that's this jiggy. Ain't nobody getting dirty in this. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. But it's things like that, and just a mixture of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Being able to put, fitteds on, make it a fitted look right with certain mixture of things. Like, you can still wear a suit and tie and wear a hat. You can still do this, do that. I feel like mixing these two things together, or even just from a pattern and a color perspective, it got people out of their own way, and actually made sure that you understood like.
I mean, look at Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the NBA walk-ins whenever they're when they walk into the dressing rooms. Yeah, that's like a fashion statement now. You know what I'm saying? And none of that shit was happening before Off-White. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like LeBron James was probably one of the first ones to like snap photos of himself. Besides Allen Iverson, of course. Yeah. Right? But or get photos taken of him while he's walking into the dressing room. Yeah, and like it's always some fly shit. And then Russell Westbrook, is just. I wouldn't even say he's outlandish, but he's very expressive with what he wears. Yeah. And there's some things that I like. There's some things that are just like, that's too much for me.
I agree.
But like it doesn't matter what it is. He still rocks that shit. You know what I mean?
He be rocking that shit. He be rocking it. And all the NBA, and that's the funny thing. Like I think a lot of NBA guys, like they definitely have peculiar style. A lot of them, all of them. For the most part, it's a lot of them who are pretty adventurous, I'll say. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with PJ Tucker. I think PJ Tucker's shoe game and just overall style be really killing shit.
Yeah, he has the best. He has the best sneaker game.
He has the best sneaker game. Yeah, and but I think that's the impact that I think Virgil has had. I think I just seen something where it was talking about.
Actually, you really quick. You were talking speaking about PJ Tucker. I think he was like the first one to play in Off-Whites.
You know what? That makes sense. I feel like he did. I feel like that was
it was the ones. I think it was when he was with the Rockets.
That's wild to say about Virgil. Yes. What I was going to say about Virgil was I think he honestly he honestly had an interesting message that I just seen about Off-White. He said that he was like, Off-White being at the price point it is and kind of marketed to, he said that he said Off-White isn't just this, clothing brand. He was like, obviously, yes, it's a fashion brand, but the price is what it is because the challenge is for you to make the alternative. Like it's for you to create the better thing. Yeah. So it's marketed to who it's marketed to. But if you feel like, hey, like I want these styles, I want this type of flavor, but like I can't afford motherfucking $900 t-shirt and I can't afford.
You got to think about it too, though. Like it is high end fashion now. Oh, yeah. In the beginning, obviously it was streetwear, but you got to think, man, like the people championed it that way. Like the people made it that, like the people who believe in his work and they just like his style. Like that's what drove the prices up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like even white people who just aren't like hip to, Virgil's style or like what Off-White is, like those people would be willing to pay resale value. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they want. They want to be part of the culture. They want to understand it. Well, maybe not understand. They just want to be a part of it. Yeah. And you see that, and like I believe that's why like Off-White is like where it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like what he's done with the sneakers is incredible, and like his Off-White sneakers, like those those Prestos, man. I've been wanting those for like 2 years now. Those white joints. Those are incredible.
he might have, and just talking about his impact, he might have single-handedly, took the resale market to a whole nother stratosphere with that, with those, Jordan retro re-releases.
Yeah.
Because it was just like they was just so coveted. You know what I'm saying? They were quickly gone, so coveted. And I don't know. I really don't know what the future holds when it comes to just exclusive shoe wear. I really don't know how that's gonna work. I feel like whoever figures out something. I've given out an idea to one guy before who he was just like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, kind of just the Wild West or whatever. I was like, I wonder if somebody jumps out and creates some infrastructure so that they could literally capture a majority of the market, because a lot of people would buy these things. They felt like it was more available. Yeah. But people, there's this kind of like literally insecurity, because it's like, I don't know how to bid. I don't know how to get on StockX. I don't know how to get on Gold. I don't know how to get on all these things to just get a fucking shoe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a collector. I just want to wear these shoes. I just want to wear those. Like, I don't want to resell, I don't want to buy, I don't want to hold, I just want to wear these shoes. How can I just wear these fucking shoes?
That's me, bro.
So it's
you're describing me. That's exactly who I am.
I mean, that's how I be, but I just really don't be getting into it. I really don't play that game. I just...
It's too much, man. It requires a lot of attention.
And my feet too big, so I know my shit's going quick. You know what I'm saying? I wear a size 12, maybe 11 and a half, depending on the brand, but nevertheless, those be gone. So it's like, I can't even... Like, I just remember when the days was simpler. When if you had a homeboy who worked at Foot Action or Foot Locker, you was set. You was the one. Like, he was that guy. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy.
Even with the Space Jam joints that I got, like, all I did was walk down Michigan and go to the Nike factory, the Nike store. On Michigan, I walked in. Well, I waited in the line for like 5 minutes. I walked in. And I was like, let me get a pair of Space Jams, 10 and a half. Boom, I walked out, right?
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Yeah. I don't want to sit on no computer. I don't want to have to click and refresh and get my money ready. Just to find out
you didn't get that shit.
Just to find out I didn't get it. Just to find out they booted me out. Just to find out they took my money. They're gonna have to refund it because it's a weird thing, and I'm still not getting the shoes. It's like a whole bunch of shit, and I see it all the time. People complain about it every Ivy Park drop. Which, speaking of fashion, I actually will wear this new little Beyonce Ivy Park dress with all this houndstooth. That's my type of shit. I would wear that. but it's like, I'm not gonna play that game though. Like somebody else can. I'm not about to sit around and like camp out at motherfucking Adidas or Nordstrom's or wherever they're gonna sell this shit at. I'm not gonna do that, and I'm definitely not gonna camp out virtually either. Like I just want to be able to easily go buy the thing. Like,
and that's
I get it, demand and all that shit, but like, at least in my head, drop more of this shit. Like, but I guess it's like, because in my head, I'm like, how that's how you know it's some underlying BS. And this is me with my 10-4 kufi on right now. It gotta be some bullshit for for all these big brands to like come out with these great drops of shoes and then never like continues to keep flooding the streets with more of them, because then that would make
that's the genius of it.
Yeah, that would make the resale not so worthy. If just wait 3-4 months, they're about to drop these, just drop a whole new batch in all the stores again. So, it is what it is. Because I'm like, why don't you just do that for amount of a season and a half and let people have as many shoes as they can. And then once you're done doing that, then you got the resale market, and you got to just get the shoes that's available out there. But
I think the exclusivity for Off-White is I think that's exactly what that was the purpose of it. It was only to release a certain amount for each item that you create, and that's it. And then like the resale value or the resale game is just going to do what it does, right? But no, you're absolutely right, man. I'm the same way. I don't camp out like that. If I see sneakers, I like them. If I see clothes, I like it. I'm gonna go buy it. And that's it. And whenever I go to the mall, if it ain't there, I'll come back another time. I don't like shopping. It's not for me. But rest in peace to Virgil Abloh, man. Rest in peace, man. Yeah, man. I hope like that legacy is literally going to live forever. I hope his family, is taking that time to console and just kind of think back and reflect. But the people loved him. You know what I'm saying? So Virgil was a very loved individual. So I really, I really do hope that the family gets what they deserve. And I'm not talking about just money, but you know what I'm saying? Like in the future, like proceeds go to them because that's who, hopefully he set it up that way. You know what I'm saying? So if he did have a family and kids and stuff like that. So
yeah, he definitely had a wife and kids. So yeah, that's real. That's real.
But what we can do is we can pivot off this heavy topic and talk a little bit more about fashion, but from the show Insecure.
Okay.
Because Issa Rae is a fucking genius, man. I love her.
Yeah, and she is.
This season is incredible. Like it is. The first season was incredible.
It's way to go out.
Yeah, but this season is incredible, man. Like I think the word that you can really define like insecure besides insecure is vulnerability, which is basically a synonym of fucking insecurity. But the one thing that Issa Rae like expresses in that show is that she makes every single character vulnerable.
It's fun.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is like, it's so smart because like in the beginning, you only know about her being insecure.
Yeah. And
then you find out Molly's insecure. And then you find out the entire fucking team is insecure.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
And
we all are.
What's his name? What's the character's name? The light skinned dude with the hazel eyes?
Nathan.
Nathan. Yo, his character is incredible because like he talks about his mental incapacity at sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he talks about like how he was vulnerable with it. And real talk, man, like think about this episode that we just saw, like how hard is it for a grown man to talk to another man about how he fucked up and how he's just trying to reconcile the differences. That's just not easy for us. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when it's something that you were, it's always hard to claim the version of you that you're not proud of anymore.
Yeah.
You're not, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's you too. Like you can't be like, that wasn't me. Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. No, I meant to do that when I did it because I was, not in the best space.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, how do I now make do with that? Because I got to claim. I can't be like, hey, just get over this because I ain't that no more. Yeah. I got to actually sit in that as if I'm still doing it. As if I'm still, because the impact is still there. I do believe it was a very vulnerable thing. And I'm glad that they are touching on it because that's the level of things that even just how that exchange went with his cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, because I had opinions about it, and I've people came to me and said they understood, like that's just what some people are gonna do. That's what some couples are gonna do. Just blame it on whoever it makes the most sense for the story or whatever. But I was like, yeah, but that's kind of a weird cop out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this your cousin. Like, you want your cousin to believe your wife is the reason why you kicked her out. So now it's still gonna be animosity regardless, and which it was. Wow, you could literally because he had all good reasons. It's like, my guy, I have children. You literally leaving in the middle of the night, leaving the door open, like it's a security risk. Yeah. You had to go. You really had to go. And it got to the point to where I had to make that decision for my family, not because I wanted you to be out on the streets or wanted you to be, in a hard position.
Yeah.
It could have, if he would have made it a conversation of like, I want to get you help. Or we need to figure out something. Even because I feel like that's the thing. Nobody ever thinks about mental health first. They always think about a million other things. Like, you just need to sit down and focus. You need to do this. You need to get out your own way. You need to do all these different things. While your mentality is the thing that I feel like people get to last. It's like, I wonder if my bro is depressed. I wonder if they, ADHD. I wonder if they got, some type of OCD or whatever it may be. Because it could be any of those things. But because they're so stigmatized, those type of like just things, it really can fuck you up.
It's true.
I actually met this woman a minute ago, a few years ago, and I remember we were having a conversation earlier this year. A few months ago, where she was telling me how she discovered her diagnosis of ADHD. And she was just like, I'm in my 20s, learning that I had ADHD my whole life.
Interesting.
And it's like, so imagine you've been doing things a certain way your whole fucking life, not just thinking that you weird. And you might be very kind of measured on like how much you allow for people to know that this is how you think and process things and do things, because you know that it just don't sound right, or you just don't believe people will accept it, or you maybe let a little bit out and they be like, what? You do what? Why do you do that? But she was breaking the shit down to me that she literally, just because of social media, because of Facebook groups and TikToks and Twitter and shit like that, people talking about it. Like she said, there was some woman who had this thread on Twitter maybe a year ago like a year or so ago, talking about like all these ADHD symptoms and all these like ADHD kind of like things like light sensitivity and like a weird sense of time, like just the way that they think about time, so many little different things. And she was just like, damn, like this sound like me. And so she went, got diagnosis. She was the the grade A example of a person with ADHD. And she started to figure her shit out. You know what I'm saying? And so, got on, got meds, got all these things, and became way more balanced as an individual. More than anything, had way more self-awareness. Now it's not I'm weird, something's wrong with me. It's like, no, this is what it is. Yeah. And this is what I do for what it is. But if we don't ever get to the what it is, and we just keep on kind of, pacifying it or throwing it away, how the hell can we ever really grow? How the hell can we exist in a good space,
That's an interesting story of how like that person basically discovered for themselves that they had ADHD. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not an easy thing, first of all, to admit to yourself that there's something wrong with you. Second of all, this person it sounded like she was genuinely interested.
No, like, she's a brilliant woman. So it's crazy that she, like even had a struggle or even had like a any type of thing, but you could tell it was like she really figured out a way to just deal with the things because she still was very highly productive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, for her, man. Yeah. So now it's like, she figured it out. She figured it out. And
that's what's up.
But I think the show honestly is like touching on so many different things. Yeah. I feel like it's honestly presenting some of the best television and best scenarios of just showing how situations where both people can be wrong or both people can have a particular perspective that you kind of got to, look into or just be, or whatever. Yeah. I think I tweeted last week on this last episode, seeing how it ended or whatever with Nathan and Issa just sitting there looking at each other. Insecure is probably one of the
last episode.
Yeah, the most previous. It's probably one of the best shows that shows men being right the best.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I feel like when shows depict the idea that the man or the male character in the damn show has the right or is in the right in some way, shape, or form, it's usually very contentious outside in the real world. When people talk about it, was like, that's bullshit. He doing this, he doing that. That's not realistic. It's like so many like plot holes that people poke into like, whatever the stance is, while all the men, anytime they have some type of whatever it is they have, 9 times out of 10, they like very much in their rights to feel the way the fuck they feel. Yeah. And I don't think that's depicted quite often. I think it's usually either real half-assed and it's like he kind of a narcissist or something, and that's why he just standing his ground or just dying on the hill of this bullshit. But for this, it's like genuinely like you moving too fucking fast. You've been like Lily just last year you was with old boy. Yeah. Now you crying in my mouth one time. You talking about I love you next. Like, girl, like
he's like, what do you want from me?
Like, I'm here. And also, I had a bad day.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I had a bad day.
Yeah.
On top of all that, I had a badass day. And it feel like that don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? That don't even matter. Cause in comparison, especially like in comparison of the things, it's not even to compare who's had the badder day. It's just like who's bringing more pressure into the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I feel like he was in the right.
I love that last part of the like that last like bit. I think it was like maybe like the last 5 minutes of the show. Yeah. When Nathan's just going in telling her everything that you just said. Yeah. But also Lawrence has told her the same thing in previous seasons. You know what I'm saying? And when Lawrence, she ended it with Lawrence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then she sees Lawrence and Condola at the hospital with the baby. Yeah. Obviously, things aren't going well with them, or they're not the greatest between Condola and Lawrence. And I'm not a parent, and I won't pretend to speak like I know what it is to be a parent or how women should take care of kids. Nothing like it's just hard, because I'm only watching. I'm only speaking of this because I'm watching a show now, and I've also seen it in real life. Yeah, you know what I mean. But when Condola, she starts tripping out about the baby going with Lawrence. Like, I can understand where she's coming from. It's just like, bro, like you can't be a part-time daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just come in. Like I carried this baby for 9 months. But also Lawrence is like, man, like I'm trying. She's like, this shit is not easy for me either. He's like, I understand you did the hard work, but let me help you. And she's not letting them help. Mm-hmm. Right. So, but you can't blame her though. She's a single woman. with a child with someone she didn't want to have a child with.
Yeah.
And like now they're here. You know what I'm saying? So like it's very complicated. So they show that perspective. Like one thing I will tell you, man, from somebody who's not Black is that I appreciate the like learning the Black perspective, right? Like like that's not that black like I see Black people going through the same things that I'm going through or that I've been through. But you know, I don't really see that, especially like outside the Black community. Like Black people are really fucking smart when it comes to personal relationships because they don't express that shit. Like they don't talk about that with anybody outside of the Black community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They do not, dog. Unless like they ask you a fucking question about it. I usually just stay out of their business and for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to things like that. Yeah. Like you and I, like I know what goes on with your personal life because you tell me. Yeah. But I'm not over here but like, oh, what's up, old girl? Unless, you know, I'm like you're on a date and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Things don't work out. But you know, like I've seen you with your ex-girls before, you know, and they were great. But we don't talk about that unless you tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, because I just feel like, I mean, I've talked about my personal relationships before, but I got to know that person. And I guess you can say it's the same thing, but like typically you don't see that in the Black community. Coming from the Black community, let me phrase that. I'm sure you talk about that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because you're part of the Black community. Yeah. So for me to see that and to see Molly, like I think it was season 3 when she started dating Andrew. Yeah. I was like, oh, because I feel like somebody like her, she would like specifically, I think they talked about it too on one of the episodes, how she like wants to be with a Black man. Yeah, she did. You know what I'm saying? Which is not a problem because, you know, I get it. And I want to be with a brown woman, but that's, that, you know, sometimes we just date outside our race, but she went like and dated an Asian man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I thought that was an interesting perspective too. And she had a good time with him too. He was a great time with him. Dude. And I think the crazy part about that was, I think the biggest lesson that you could take away from that exchange was really that Molly was with a man that she really wasn't ready to be with, that she really wasn't prepared to be with because he was patient with her. Yeah. He was very much patient. He was very much always on her side in public, but always letting it be known, like, this is what I also think too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your back, but also like, I think you could have approached this differently. Very much. So many different things. And it was like, she really couldn't handle the maturity and the acceptance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because now, because I think that's the hard part for so many people. But to speak to what you said first, I think culturally, I think there is this aspect to, honestly, to just Blackness as a whole to I think I call it the clean house. Just the clean house principle. You know what I'm saying? You having guests over. Like my house might look a little disorganized right now, but I'm gonna make sure if you ever in my house that you never see it that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's this. I think that's why, you know, and I think it could be a person to person thing, but I do believe collectively a lot of people are like that. And, no, you're absolutely right. I'd be the same way. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are gonna be, you know, keep their business to themselves until it makes sense to bring it out, or, you know, spoon feed the world on what it is. Like, I just got married or whatever. Yeah. No, I mean, let's take these two guys for example, man. Like nobody knew that Chadwick Boseman and Virgil had cancer. You know what I'm saying? Until they passed. So like, I feel like that's a great example. But no, you're absolutely right. Like but you know, genuinely speaking, you know, I feel like Black and brown people are just prideful as fuck. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no reason for nobody to be in our business if you don't got to be in our business. And, and I think that's a great thing that we do have. We definitely in terms of similarities, in terms of just culture, in terms of just like how we like our food made. We very much got a lot in common. So man, if I could, like, here's what I say about, especially with the food, because we fuck up some food. We made at least we got more spices than we got meat in the house. But as far as the show, man, I hope for me personally, because I'm a big fan of Lawrence. I just feel like his character is genuine. I don't think that him and Issa should end up, you know, together forever. You know what I'm saying? I think they got too many issues that Issa just can't get past. And Lawrence is like ready to move, at least at this time in their character's life. But also I don't think Issa should be with Nathan either. I think Issa needs to just be single, dog. And Nathan needs to come back to Texas because LA ain't working for him. Go back to the land of big booties, man. Go back to Houston. I would say I think there are, you know, selfish parts of me that would love for in some weird world for it to work out for Lawrence and Issa, just because I really do enjoy their dynamic. Like that last season, Yeah.
I had just heard that Giveon song, World We Created, like probably like maybe a week or two before that episode came where they got back together and went on a date. And then the thing ended. Then the next episode starts with them like all over each other, you know what I'm saying? All over each other over the couch. You could tell there's some time done passed. It's like, oh, they back. Yes. And it was World We Created all over that motherfucker. Yeah. And playing in the background. I'm like, yes, I love it. But obviously, you know, condole. But I feel like, my prediction is that Issa is going to be single. Yeah. Molly is going to have a man. And Lawrence is going to be single as well. But he's going to be, because I think if we're looking at true progression of their characters from the first season to now, we're honestly looking at Molly's one of Molly's biggest insecurities that she has everything together but her person. Like she doesn't have a person to share all the things she has together with. So Molly really is the person who really feels like she's in a place in so many different ways to accept a person into her life. Issa really was already had a person but was insecure about her life. Yeah. So it's like she needs to get her life in order. So I feel like now she's moving in, like she has a whole ass business that's doing well. She has, you know, this like big corporate partnership. Yeah. I can see a world where she's continuously getting more and more secure into who she is and the type of person that she wants to ultimately become. And that partnership gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's not a priority for her because I think she hasn't been without love. She hasn't been without somebody wanting her, somebody, you know, sticking by her side. Like if you look at every season to season, like how often has Issa really been like without something? You know what I'm saying? Like she went from Lawrence to Daniels and Daniel to Nathan and from had a little whole phase for a second, dated around. You know, it was like very much, and even if she wasn't in a relationship, like within the time lapse of things, she still had friendships like with Nathan and all these other people. So she was pretty in a good place in terms of just support from a man, I guess. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I would agree with that.
And while I think Lawrence's character, my man was on the couch, unemployed, felt like he was overweight, no haircut, no motivation. Now he's full blown, you know what I'm saying, deep into this tech world. He's out here, you know, helping fucking, you know, these, I think it seems like
startup companies.
Yeah, it seemed like, he's definitely working with some type of like maybe venture capitalist company.
Yeah, I think it's a
venture
VC.
capitalist. And he's like literally assisting, taking pictures from these bigger companies and developing them into getting them ready for action launch. Yeah. And that's hell of a position. So he's getting paid real good for that. Yeah. So it's like he's in the best space and place because he's a, you know, big picture person. And so he didn't really need relationship either. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he also too, just like Issa, ain't never really been without. Yeah. You know, my man went to motherfucking, what's that grocery store? Is it Ralph's in LA?
Those are Vaughn's, Ralph's, Yeah,
he went to Ralph's and fucked around and had two white women on top of him by the time
I remember that episode. That shit was crazy.
Crazy, right? Like just want to get some beer and now
so fucking overwhelmed. Had no idea like what he got himself into.
Right. That shit was crazy. How you go get a pack of Corona, don't pay for it, and then end up with, you know what I'm saying, two white women on top of you. What a day.
I'm also like, I'm super late to this, but I figured out in season 3. I was like, oh shit, that's Amanda Seales.
Yeah, it is.
I was so fucking late. I was so late to that. I was like, oh shit, because like, I mean, she's a really funny comedian. Like she's hilarious. Yeah. But because she plays this like uppity friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's the comedic perspective. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she acts well. She acts very well. She does.
It's very good.
Very good.
It's very,
a lot of people think that's how she really is too. That's a real weird thing on the internet too.
No,
but she's really nails it. It's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's really her
she's not uppity and snobby like that. I mean, I wouldn't know. I never met her in person.
She just went to Columbia. She just went to Columbia. That's all. People who go to Ivy League schools or close to Ivy League schools always come off with a little, you know, different air. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's mad smart. Yeah. Well, here, I'll give my predictions on the 3 main characters, and we keep it moving. But as far as Lawrence, I think he's gonna end up single too. I think he's gonna end up like with the because he has a massive project now with one of these startup companies that that they want to invest in. But I think he's gonna have like a huge like something huge is gonna come his way. With Molly, I agree with you, bro. I think Molly is very much in tune with herself. Yeah. But she has a problem with a man that is doing better than her in terms of like her work and money because she competes so damn much. And she also has a problem with a man that cannot keep up. So,
but that's why, I think that's why in the last episode, that's why it cements my prediction because I feel like her and Torian might be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like,
it looks like something's cooking up there.
But it's like he would be the best match because he literally, you definitely know he makes enough because he literally does the same thing you do. He's definitely just as ambitious because y'all always talking about how y'all battling for, attention at the workplace. And he also is similar in terms of just his own plight, like trying to balance work and life and having these real things happening and trying to keep it together just like you do. Yeah.
And on top of that, he's Black. And I think that's exactly what she wants in her life. You know what I'm saying?
That too. Yeah, that's so.
He's like super successful Black man, very, very, very well put together and just sounds like a great lawyer. Issa, man, I've known plenty of girls that do shit like this. They just kind of bounce around from man to man. And it's not like because they're being a hoe. It's just they don't know how to be alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Issa Rae does not, well, let me rephrase this. Issa D, has no idea how to be alone. She's very insecure about her own life or her work. But now she's on like the up, like, they just did this fashion show that didn't go very well. But she's getting her name out there in her own business. So her entrepreneurial skills are getting a lot better. But her personal relationship skills are trash. Like Nathan put her on the spot when he had to. Lawrence has definitely put her on the spot before when he had to. Daniel was like, bruh, like you basically took advantage of me. How you fucking lived with me essentially for free. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot how their relationship ended, but
I can't remember.
I know it didn't. Damn. I know it didn't end well.
Yeah, it definitely didn't end well. I feel like she eventually just found another place, but I can't remember exactly how they. I can't remember how they like parted ways because I feel like
I think it's because he told her like I think it's time for you to find a place. I think it's time for you to move out. I don't remember. I think this was like season 2 or something like that. Or 3.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember either. I'm gonna have to go back and watch definitely before because I think it's gonna be. I think the last episode is probably gonna be like the weekend after Christmas. Okay. I feel like the weekend after. I think
there's one dropping tonight, right?
There's one dropping tonight.
Yeah.
And I think the last one is on the 20. I want to say the 26th. I feel like if Christmas falls on like a Saturday this year, I think.
You could be right.
I think Christmas falls on a Saturday, so I think the 26th is literally like the day. Kudos to us if we right. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
It's a Friday. Oh wait, no, my apologies. That's November. I'm tripping. Let me go back. It is a Sunday. 26th is a Sunday.
Yeah. So I think I'm definitely going to do an episode. I love this fucking show. I think it's definitely one of an instant classic of our times. We've seen our own thing happening.
Great show.
I can imagine that, years and years to come, people are going to go back and rewatch and be like, oh my God, this show was a classic. Oh my God, just like we were and how we still are about so many classic shows that still hold up. Yeah. It's a lot of shows that, it might be certain jokes that might not hit in the same ways because they're, we really moved away from certain things, but it's certain aspects of the shows or just the overall, combination of things that still hit. Still hit. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I do.
I've enjoyed how they keep bringing in the adversity that each character has to overcome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like it's essentially like it's like a true life story, like taking place in the modern day world. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's incredible what they're doing with each character. So I'm sad that it's going to end this season. I was kind of hoping it'd go a little longer.
Yeah.
But it's a great show. I love it, man. It's probably one of my favorite HBO shows of all time.
I agree.
But yeah, man, let's keep it moving though. I saw here that you had on the docket dropped the Grammys. I will tell you that I did not see the fucking verses, and I'm pissed that I didn't see it.
Me either. And so we don't got to talk about it long because I'm gonna say we can actually talk about that first, and then just let's talk about the Grammys. So this past verses was Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia.
I think first of all,
great matchup. I think that was a great matchup in terms of just recognizable groups, recognizable tracks.
I think had
definitely
Pimp C
having
been alive, it would have been UGK versus 3-6.
that would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been cold.
Crazy.
That would have been cold. But I love Bone. I love 3-6. But
I love them both. Definitely biased. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of who I wanted to win,
of course.
But I think and I think that was the interesting thing about it is like living in the Midwest has really truly been a life experiment of like just how we think differently, how things are really different depending on where you are. Because I think when you live and you from, and majority of the people are live and from a particular place, you can almost fill in the dots for so many different things. You can answer everybody's, you know what I'm saying, introductory questions like, oh, okay, you grew up in this side of town, you probably did this, you probably did that, you probably know this, you probably played football. Gotcha. You know, that you can like fill in the blank, you know what I'm saying? And living in Chicago for as long as I have, I think I realized and I'm always reminded like, oh yeah, I'm not in the South no more.
Yeah.
I'll see certain people I follow or just see, you know, in the rumor mill or just see it on Twitter from people who happen to be from Chicago as well, saying like, oh yeah, Bone got this, they going crazy. I'm like, really? Like y'all making it sound like,
I mean,
y'all
they're great.
Real landsliders, and I don't get how we got here. But I'm like, I get it. That's the perspective. And if you only have gotten, you know, a limited amount of things, you don't have this. Because I do believe, you know, certain things you listen to at particular points in your life really hold an even deeper intrinsic value to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you heard this shit when you was a kid.
It's very nostalgic,
Yeah, shit like that. So it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm definitely very much not like the deep cut guy when it comes to Bone Thugs, but I am with 3-6. So it's like this aligns where my bias is. But I think I fuck with it. I fuck with what Versus does in terms of just bringing back all these different things. I'm so glad fucking Crunchy Black was on stage. You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy to see,
with
man.
Them, with them doing the thing. You feel me?
Was Project Pat there?
I don't know. I
know he ain't 3-6, but like he runs with that family. And,
He's Juicy J's older brother, so it's he definitely be around like crazy. He definitely has been on some of their biggest tracks as well, and vice versa. So and production and shit like that. Paul and Juicy J both made beats for Project Pat, and so
just really quick, what Project Pat needs to do is create his own like verse or make his own song on Knife Talk, because like that beat was hard.
Man,
and I love Project Pat, man. He makes his cadence, the way he flows is incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. So I hope like he just like puts a track out there. You know what I'm saying,
man? And you know what? I like really like that's the thing that really be getting me like going, because it's like I don't think I really realized how much I appreciated a certain tone of voice and a certain like delivery of certain Southern rappers until, you know, we get into where we at now, where we have like so many more Southern rappers that are popular, and like hearing certain things and hearing them sound certain ways and hearing them pick up on certain things. It always makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like an evolution of something, you know, like best person to, you know, bring up is like Isaiah Rashad. I think it was RIP. What's the name of that song?
I got it right here.
It's RIP something. He actually did a remix with Project Pat and Juicy J on the deluxe version of The House Is Burning.
Zay Diggity, man, that's my guy. I love Isaiah Rashad, bro. The song is called RIP Young.
Yeah, RIP Young. He got Juicy J and Project Pat on that thing, and that thing is it. It is so good. The song was already great. Song was already great because I think he already has this very new age flow that's very reminiscent of them, of who his influences are. You know,
RP Young is incredible. Headshots is incredible too, man.
You feel me?
Planes, the clothing brand. They created a video and they used I think it was RIP Young or Headshots. I think it was Headshots. Yeah. That shit was dope, man. It was just it was like a dope concept, but I again, you know, I love Isaiah Rashad. But Project Pat, man. When he said, what did he say? He's like, ain't a thing, do that chicken wing, got some gold teeth. I already forgot the lyrics. It's been a long time since I listened to Project Pat's first album. At the club, trying to shake that thing, trying to get a piece. Yeah, chicken, always into some dumb shit. Should have paid your light bill.
You bought an outfit. Stay
oh my God.
Miami house.
Yeah, it's just that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, it's bad to talk about women like that, of course, but I mean, it was just a comical song,
and it was hell of a story to tell.
Yeah,
and like that was such a childhood thing, like just being like children knowing Chicken Head word for word.
Yeah, even I think it's Gangsta Boo, right?
Yeah.
I sure did with your face drinking on that yak. Mouth full of gold, but your ass needs some Tic Tac. But you need some gum. That's fucking funny to me. You know what I mean? Like they just talk shit to each other. I don't want your phone number.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious.
Yeah. And I had got into I had went back and listened to some old like 8Ball and MJG.
Oh yeah.
They're coming out hard. I think it was Pimps in the House is I think the song that I had, and it's just the beat on that motherfucker, the flow on that motherfucker is just so damn good. It's so damn timeless. It don't get old. You feel me?
I remember when we were in high school and that You Don't Want Drama came out.
Yeah.
Incredible track.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And so it is what it is. I do believe that, Versus does a great job at, highlighting the, the legends, people who should be highlighted. And I hope that, everyone like streams the hell out of it. Hope they get so much from it. I know for at least, I'm not sure about Bone Thugs paperwork, but I know for the most part that 3-6 owns most of their shit.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you got to give it to 3-6 though, man. They're Grammy Award winners. Like they won an Oscar. Like that's like for the, oh wait, really quick before we, keep talking about 3-6 and their incredible like musicianship. Whoever is creating the score or the soundtrack for Insecure deserves a fucking award because like that, like I've discovered so much music because of Insecure.
I believe it's been the same person every season. Raphael Sadiq. I think Raphael Sadiq.
You are incredible.
Raphael Sadiq from Tony Tone fame.
Okay, well then yeah. So Tony Tone. So like. Damn, that's a crazy 90s group.
Yeah. He's from the 90s. Yeah, the lead singer, okay. Tony Tone. Raphael Sadiq is, I believe he was the music director, the music supervisor for the first. I know he was the first 2 seasons, and I believe he's comes back every time. But
I'm gonna read the credits.
Issa has always been really fucking good with that, and I think they definitely, because it's not even like it's a revolutionary thing for them to like playlist.
Yeah,
their playlist, their theme songs for their shows and stuff. That's not even something that a lot of shows have done that. I think it's the way that she did it. It actually made it something for people to come to and like expect, and even creating music specifically outside, like in inspiration to. And something like, that she's done as well. That's very like soundtrack like now, and I think that shit is just amazing. And now she literally has her own record label, so it's like she literally is aligning herself. She's putting her own artists on there. I think. Tiana Major. I feel like Tiana Major may be signed to radio, and then somebody else. I forgot her name. I had to go on.
So, but yeah, I'll tell you. Like I found Steve Lacy through Insecure. I found her through Insecure. I found. I think it was Childish Major through Insecure. I found Brent Faiyaz through Insecure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I found a bunch of like artists because of what it came out in 2016? That's when it dropped the show?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, like all these artists that No Name, I think No Name was featured on the I don't know if it was No Name or if it was
probably so. I think the song from Telephone was definitely on earlier seasons.
But yeah, there's a bunch of music that I found off of Insecure, and I'm like, whoever like scores, like does the music for the show is incredible. Yeah. But anyway, man, back to Versus. So apparently there was a confrontation between 3-6 and Bone. I don't know what happened. There was like bottles being thrown or some shit. It was like
I didn't hear about this
during the performance. I don't know. Yeah, or somebody pushed somebody. I don't know what happened. But I need to go back and watch. I'm a big fan of 3-6. I'm a big fan of Bone. Like I don't think I ever heard of like rappers singing before Bone. Bone came out in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're founded by Eazy-E. Mm-hmm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And they made music with both Pac and Biggie.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Some of the few, they in a very short list of people who've done that.
Yeah, and like when people are like, it's kind of sad when people are like, Kid Cudi put Ohio on the map. I'm like, nah, man, Bone Thugs did.
Bone Thugs, golly,
yeah, man. And then it's the same thing with 3-6, man. Like like Tennessee.
Yeah, you talking
like
about
Tennessee
rap.
music.
You talking about rap, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee music or Tennessee rap music. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I think of Tennessee, it's always immediately 3-6.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm always playing like When the Smoke Clears or Crazy in the Last Days. Like I don't World Domination. Like I used to have all those albums, man. Like even like the singles like Juicy J's and DJ Paul's and I'm Gangsta, you know, all these art. Project Pat. I know Project Pat's not technically part of 3-6, but you know he's obviously family with them. But I love that music, bro. Again, same with Bone. But anyway, we can keep it moving, bro.
I got you.
Yeah, let's stay on the topic of music because right before we started recording, I started listening to this track that you have posted. Let's talk about that for a second. So, because it's incredible.
Oh, you talking about the deep cut?
The deep cut. Yeah, the deep cut is incredible.
Shout out to Masego and Devin. I believe it's Devin Morrison.
Devin Morrison.
Devin Morrison for Yamz. This was a pre-Thanksgiving release. And I think honestly it's gonna probably carry folks through the holidays. Just I think people are gonna use this. It's a good fucking song. It's definitely a vibe. It definitely it's warm. It's definitely the message is one that feels like a double entendre. Yeah. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Can I get to the yams? Yeah. Sweet yams. And because it's like equally could be talking about, you know what I'm saying, that you know, some type of sexual beckoning or it's money. It's like, cause I got bills to pay is the next few lines after. So it's such a great song. Highly suggest everybody to play it and play it hard and play it long, play it loud. Because it's really good and it's just a vibe. Like I'm trying to figure out another way to use. I've already used it as like background to a clip that I posted about talking, because I don't be liking the erasure that be happening with, you know what I'm saying, with Thanksgiving. It's like as soon as Halloween ends, motherfuckers are ready to start celebrating Christmas. And that shit don't make no sense to me. It's like there's a major holiday in between the two. And it's one that y'all all celebrate. Like, let's not act like Thanksgiving is like optional. That's probably one of the few universal, you know what I'm saying, holidays that we all really take the day to do something for. You know what I'm saying?
So that's something interesting you just brought up, because on the Brilliant Idiots podcast, Taylor talks about how she doesn't think that Black people should celebrate Thanksgiving. And Charlamagne was like, all right. He's like, well, then go to work, you know, on Thanksgiving if you don't want to celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I understand like where she's coming from, the whole genocide, and I get that. I do. I understand.
I get that. I get that. And I said that in the episode that I released last week. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's kind of like, if I do a thing, because I feel like everything that everybody outside of, you know, people who happen to be considered white within America does, there's a difference between them leaning into the reverence of something that's ultimately like has roots in negativity versus them doing it for their own complete different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, Black people don't celebrate 4th of July because we are patriots. Right. We celebrate 4th of July because it's a day off. It's a day to celebrate just being off. It's summertime. Let's grill. Let's shoot fireworks. Let's do all the things because we are together. Just another moment to kind of be together in family.
Bro, I'm a veteran and I celebrate the 4th of July the same way you do. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? So it's like we ain't out here talking, sitting around the fire like let's tell the story of how the American flag was designed. There's never any of that. In the same way when it comes to Thanksgiving, like we're not sitting around dressing like pilgrims doing some reenactment and no shit like that. We ain't probably only got maybe a almost variation of what motherfuckers ate in that time. So we ain't even eating close to what they eating because they this is pilgrims we talking about straight from Europe. So it's probably the best thing on the table was the corn that they was given. So I feel like I get it, but let's use nuance here. You know what I'm saying? I don't celebrate Columbus Day. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe that there should be way more reverence for indigenous people of America, but I don't think that's people of color's responsibility. You know
I don't think so either.
I think we can acknowledge like we all deserve to support, lift up, and, you know, bring more acknowledgement to indigenous people because it's such the fact that it's such a few number when they literally were, you know, majority of this nation at some point. it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like how can you get whittled down to this like very small number that your voice isn't even heard or even spoke of when we talk about just general issues and just general things that we should care about.
Yeah.
So I feel like I get it. I understand. But when I say Thanksgiving, I'm talking about food and family.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Because I get to I'm such a family oriented person. I like to be around my family, you know what I mean? And my friends that I consider my family too. So I get to spend time with them and we're just having a good time, eating some food, getting fat and shit and drinking or whatever it is that we're doing.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So that's how I enjoy it. She was going off the rails talking about we need to change up the menu. Like, bro, you can do that if you want. You know what I mean? You don't have to make turkey.
I'm Southern. My mama might have made half of the Thanksgiving meals from between the months of motherfucking August and October. Just they might have been disjointed. They might not have been at the same time, but she made greens a month ago. She made some 2 months ago. Just because you felt like it however long. I've definitely had a Thanksgiving where we was like, let's not eat that. Like we can go somewhere. We can go to somebody's house if we want a piece. Go get some cake. Go get some caramel cake. Go get a sweet potato pie. Do something else this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I fuck with people who do the alternative thing. It's your day, and also too. Let's take and reform and redefine what we want the day off that we get to be the day off that we want it to be. You know, because in my head I'm thinking like
that's what I've done already.
To be grateful for your family, like for food, fun, family, and gratefulness. I think those are great principles to allow for a day for everybody to just be in.
To not have to worry about going to work. You know what I'm saying?
Like let's give a day to be thankful for whatever we got. It's almost end of the year.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then literally next month we're gonna show our appreciation for each other, like giving gifts and all these other things. And you can put whatever you want to put on it. I ain't telling nobody to be to lean into any true reason for any holiday. Because the fact of the matter is, like I said, people of color have always redefine what them shits mean to us.
Yeah.
We just have. You know what I'm saying? Like Labor Day, and best example, Labor Day. Labor Day, no one knows really why motherfuckers celebrate Labor Day.
Yeah.
It's a day off.
We just
talks about the origins of what Labor Day is. We all just do our own things, no matter what. People go out of town. It's motherfucking fucking car shows and bike festivals and barbecues and 3-day weekend events, all type of shit be happening.
Yeah.
But why are we doing this? Because we just deserve a day off. Nobody's questioning the real roots and associated.
I'm not gonna question that shit. I'm gonna take my day off.
I feel like Labor Day has something to do with it might be maybe like farmers or something. I can't even remember. But that's the point that I'm making. Like no one questions these other things, you know, but let people have a day off. We honestly could use more of them bitches.
Yeah.
Use more days off. To be honest with you. Like we don't like the world we live in, we living in this remote lifestyle in a lot of cases. Yes, people deserve to be able to rest.
Yeah.
That's just what I believe. We've seen it. It exists in the world already.
Yeah.
Very highly functioning countries are taking fucking months off of work. You know what I'm saying?
It's doing something mentally for them. You know what I mean? Like
they're taking holiday and they gone. They like, oh yeah, I ain't got to be back at work for the whole month of this month. And these are grown ass people not having to work
with high paying jobs.
With high paying jobs, not having to work. Imagine the productivity. Imagine how much people would continue to hold down whatever their responsibilities are with alongside this corporation if they know that y'all are putting their shit first, you know, but I don't want to get on no tangent.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because we could go down that rabbit hole if we wanted to. But to bring it back, Yamz is a dope song. Y'all should listen to that track. It's actually very good.
Go stream Yamz, goddamn.
Yeah, sonically, it's pleasing to listen to. So y'all should definitely check it out.
It truly is.
But let's take it down the street to the conscious corner, man, because we've talked about this before. There's some things that obviously that you and I agree and disagree on when it comes to this administration. But for the most part, I think you and I can both agree that these people are basically non-existent.
Man,
to the public.
Bing motherfucking bong. Shout out to Side Talk NYC, which is the new viral sensation. I think they consider themselves to be like the 1 minute street talk show.
Hey, that's dope.
Based in New York City. I can't remember the names of the producers and creators of the show, but they do a lot of cool, content where they literally just a lot of talking on the street, man on the street type content.
Let's do my research.
And one of their most viral clips is kind of like a reoccurring person who who calls Joe Biden Joe Byron. Like what you got,
Joe Byron? What
you got to tell Joe Biden right now?
Yeah.
Out to dinner. You might have seen that, but this man continuously calls this man Joe Byron.
I need to do my research. I need to look this up.
I'm gonna send it to you. It's some hilarious shit.
Okay, cool.
It's very hilarious. But my conscious corner statement is Joe Byron got to be the real president. He knows something we don't because we ain't really even seen Joe. And I think what I want to point out is like, I think it's interesting how, we had so much Trump content in terms of the media and the news.
Oh,
that
a
it
lot.
feels that I'm still feeling like, and mind y'all, prior to him being in the news, I think he definitely probably trumps
Yeah.
everybody, probably every president in terms of media coverage. He's probably broken records if we could probably quantify it. But Obama was also probably prior to Trump, probably the person who had the most, media attention because it was every which way. This is the first fucking black president.
Yeah.
There were people who were supporting everything he was saying, criticizing everything he was saying, all these things, whatever he was saying. So it was a lot more coverage. Like that tan suit was a real scandal on the news. You feel me? So they were making everything into everything.
Yeah.
Trump did a lot of shit that was actually noteworthy that we need to talk about. Like this shit is, what the fuck is this? What is happening? Hence why we, talked about him so much. So now we're at a way more conservative point, a way more down, way more relaxed and older as well. Of presidential cabinet that we have right now with Kamala and Joe Biden. They're very tame, very much, cool into themselves. They're not these boisterous type of characters. Especially, we're talking about Joe Biden, the former vice president.
Yeah.
So he already used to being pretty fucking low key and kind of, himself. But also too, he's 77. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's old, man.
I can't imagine my grandparents, anybody's grandparents being able to just be outside all damn day, be working all the damn time, being seen all the damn time. And I believe he's the oldest president to date at this point.
Yeah, and he's in charge of a country that is essentially running the entire world.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically. So I think it's just interesting. My conscious corner is, where the fuck is Joe? I think there's some interesting news that we get about Kamala all the time, which I think she's kind of just like I said about Obama, because she is the first. She's getting heavily criticized and heavily kind of, covered, which I think it's okay to be that way if they're doing that to everybody.
Yeah.
If we're like qualifying that the vice president is important, has an important job with some major responsibilities, and we're covering all this shit, then yes, I get it. But there's been a lot of press about like people leaving her staff and going to different teams, just going to different sides, all types of shit. And it's just like, I get it. I believe personally, you're never going to get me to, pretty much defend politicians, because I think it's just, overall, it's truly legalized. It's like politicians to me, and this may come out wrong, but I think this is the best way to describe it based off of where we are now.
Yeah.
It's like professional scam. It's like we can lie to you. We can make you vote for us. We can take y'all money. We can tell you what we're going to do with it and not do it. We can essentially have a job for our whole lives and you really can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
We can change the rules so that we can stay in our jobs. So many different things happen when you are a politician. There's so much power given to politicians, and there's nothing that it feels like the people have control over other than us being able to vote, being able to petition, but everything is everything. Like there's a that's a roadblock to all those things, because you still got lobbies, you still got all these other like things and levels of things that you that are protecting and holding up the infrastructure of the government. Yeah. So it's like, fuck, like how the hell could we even switch up and change how this feels and how this is when you reject the people who are giving new radical ideas and trying to really shake up and shake the table of the government, those people have, they have maybe loud voices from a standpoint of how people feel about what they say and people agreeing with them. But how loud are they in the room? Are people actually listening to them in the room? Like, everyone knows who AOC is. Everyone knows who Rashida Tlaib is. Everyone knows who all this, the new PAC and these younger, more progressive politicians are.
Yeah.
But how much are they really able to get done in those rooms? They are brand new into these mixes. They're only a few years into their, into their like big major political careers. Are they getting rejected a lot? Are they doing all these different things? And lastly, and I'll let you say something, I really just do not like the approach that Biden has as a whole, because we always knew he was a moderate, but it's just like we're getting to the point now where it's just insanity. It's just insanity at this point. There's this consistent thing coming from moderate Democrats where they're literally consistently telling everybody and giving the message out to everyone always that we have to work together. We have to cross the aisle. We have to, do all these things to work together to get certain things done. And I believe that is bullshit, because why would you do that if the other side doesn't do it for you too? The only time the Republicans cross the aisle to do a thing is when they need something and they need your cosign. As soon as you try to do it back in return and try to get something, especially when it's major, especially when y'all really need this, especially when it might help a lot of people, that's when it gets the most resistance. So how is this a trend? How is this a symbiotic, type of relationship in terms of just the two houses of the government, the two different, sides of the government? I just think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So we're going to essentially play nice while they're playing the most dirty. And it just feels like, all this shit is bullshit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because you still really do see these people as quote unquote friends or quote unquote colleagues and all these different things. And they're literally creating legislature that is literally hurting people's lives. It's really like making people's lives harder. So it's like, this is some professional ass scamming. You out here can do a terrible job and still hold a job down and make so much money. And we are the ones who paying you for that. Yeah. It's crazy as hell to me.
Yeah. I mean, so so being a politician or trying to become a politician, if you ever wanted to go down that road, I feel like for me personally, I wouldn't. Because as a politician, I would imagine that you just get pulled in so many directions. You know what I mean? Like you're being asked to do so many things, and I feel like you have to look at it from two perspectives. One, you have to look at it from your own agenda. Like, what did you say you were going to do, and are you going to do it? The second thing is who are these people that are asking you to do these things, and do you owe them any favors? Like, are they people that are going to keep backing you if you do this for them? You know what I'm saying? So I think that has a lot to do with being a politician on top of making these decisions that are going to affect thousands of people in particular areas, right?
Hell yeah.
I know me personally, I don't have the anxiety or I wouldn't be able to cope with that kind of anxiety. That's too much for me. Politicians don't get paid enough. Not that, they're not broke. They're good. They're well off. But for the amount of work that they have to do or that they're required, it's not, to me, it's not worth it. I can make more money doing what I'm about to get myself into and not have to worry about setting any type of policies for the country. Right. So just for my business. But I agree, man. I mean, like Joe Biden has basically been non-existent. The things that when he does come out of the woodwork, it's pretty funny to see. And you're right with Kamala Harris too, man. Like her being the first female and a Black president or vice president. So any type of move that she makes, the media is definitely going to hop on it. But on both sides, like the conservative and the Democratic side, they're going to obviously speak about her in different ways. Yeah. But she's going to get that exposure, that attention. But we just don't know what their agenda is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the goal? Like, what are y'all trying to do here?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like Trump was like, we're going to close the border. We're going to do all this. And none of that ever happened, but we knew what the agenda was. You know what I'm saying? And with
racist.
Yeah, basically. with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is like, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? And I've seen things about like them trying to set up Kamala to be a Supreme Justice.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's cool, but
yeah, that feels more like, well, how the fuck does that benefit the people? Like, okay, like nice and to what know. Is that? Nice to know that you maybe don't have aspiration to be president, but you rather be something that's still very a powerful position.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess that's a great way to set yourself up, become fucking vice president to then become that, because that's what you. Because on some, gotta when you black, you gotta work twice as hard. So it's like the only you gotta have a vice president on your damn resume to then be a damn considered to be a Supreme Justice. But I don't know. I agree. I don't know what their thing is. I do know it is hard right now thinking about they are presiding at a time in the middle of a pandemic. So majority of this first term is going to be him getting the fucking world in a better space.
Yeah.
Getting people vaccinated, getting more infrastructure, pushing infrastructure. So many different things have been halted and have to be readjusted and have to be changed. So many industries are still right now going through so many major changes.
Yeah.
So many businesses reckoning with, we may need to truly realize what does only remote work look like for us as a company, because we weren't built on that. And which means that we need better infrastructure in terms of fiber optics and Wi-Fi and all these different things. I'm not sure.
Wi-Fi game's gonna need to be stepped up.
Yeah, it got to be stepped up. That means that the prices of it got to go down, and also the consistency of it has to go up.
Yeah.
But the fucked up part about that is that's ran by the whole oligopoly right now. That's all like from Charter, Comet, Xfinity, and maybe 2-3 other people pretty much control all of the damn Wi-Fi in the fucking nation. So, and they're just rationing that shit out based off of where you live. And if you live in the rural area, then you really out of luck.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It has to be that now, because I can bet my bottom dollar that everybody is choosing where they want to live based off wherever they want to be. More than
it's no longer the like my job took me out there kind of. I mean, it could still be that.
It could still be that depending on what it is, but the fact that more jobs than not are anything that dealt with an office where you were in a skyscraper.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10 you can do this shit remotely.
Main reason
if all it was you literally doing some type of data processing and telecommunications where you're literally just on the phones, emailing, processing certain documents, we have so many things from cloud computing right now, from being able to like even IT. Like when I was still working at Coyote, motherfuckers could ghost, the IT team could ghost into my computer because I'm connected to the company server.
Yeah.
And still fix some if I had an issue. So it's like, I really don't got to be up in this motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So in the rare occasion I might need more equipment or whatever it is, y'all can either send that shit to me, or I could send it to you, or I could pull up and to wherever it is. Like I get maybe having the space possibly to, hold your equipment or hold certain things. But now we're talking about very small amount of space now.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about full blown office buildings. We're just talking about maybe a little smaller. Yeah, we got maybe like a nice little, 3,000 square foot space where we got all the IT guys who come in whenever they want to. We got a few conference meetings, conference rooms, but majority of it is storage.
Yeah.
Majority of it is storage and that motherfucker holding our servers up, server farms, whatever, and keeping that shit cool and keeping it going. And maybe some important documents, maybe HR works out of there. Maybe they don't, because they don't have to either. Because if people in HR are gonna tell your business because they got all access to your business, they can do that at work or at home.
Shit that I've seen. Working in HR, I could tell you it's crazy. Some of the I see is crazy.
Yeah, so it's like it don't matter. They don't have to, because they can always make the excuse like you have to be there, but you really don't.
Yeah. So I agree with you in that aspect, because like the main reason outside of being sick when I was in Atlanta, the main reason why I left Atlanta was because of my job. I was like, man, I am not happy. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy like the company. The people that I work with were great, but I didn't need to see them every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not, again, if y'all are listening, no disrespect to any of y'all, I like my space. And when the pandemic was coming to the States, like when it was, when you knew what was going on, and essentially it just happened. Like, you know what I mean? April time rolled around or March, and then we got fucking smacked in the face with this crazy ass virus.
Yeah.
that our president at the time fucking knew about. But that's a topic for another conversation, another time. So anyway, when I left, I was like, man, like, and I remember discussing with my director and manager at that time, like, this job can be done remote. Like, we're doing it remote now. Like, just let me go back to Texas. And they just weren't with it. So then I was like, all right, I got to separate myself from this because this is not what I want to do. Yeah. I don't want to be here. I'm miserable. You know what I mean? And I'm just not that kind of person. So a job like that can definitely take a toll on you. When you're working remote, obviously there's some negatives to it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have direct access to management or, to have any of your questions answered. Mm-hmm. But we figured that out in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, Microsoft Teams became the most effective tool that companies use to talk to people, something that we're utilizing now. You're 1,000 miles away from me, and you and I both on audio sound, just like we're in the same room. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I agree, like the direction that these companies are taking for, working remote, and even when it comes to the legislation and changing shit like that, with the vaccinations and people having to get booster shots, essentially until we figure out what the fuck this virus is. Yeah, all of that comes into effect, and it starts literally from the top. But the top right now is basically non-existent because we don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, man, the last one that we can dive into this because this is a great topic you brought up, and I'll let you introduce it. But I do want to say like the people, if you're not I wouldn't say well versed, but if you have not done any type of research on this, please do. Continue, bro.
The hot take of the week is the metaverse is the next era of technology, and this ain't even of the week. This is like of the damn decade at this point. Yep. We have been getting way more information week to week in the past few. Honestly, basically the whole pandemic. A lot more has been spoken to in terms of just cryptocurrency, just with the emergence of people actually paying attention to the stock market, people actually, paying attention to cryptocurrency and realizing and trying to learn, like, what is this? What is this? Right. What I would like for everybody to understand, just like when it comes to cryptocurrency, these types of conversations are going to continue to happen. People are going to say things like, well, this should seem fake. This should seem like a spook. This should seem this, that, and the third. I want y'all to know something, that cryptocurrency specifically is no different than what money is to us now. I could show you $1, and I could show you what $1 looked like, and show you what a 10 looked like, show you what a 50 looked like, show you what $100 bill looked like. Right. The only thing different about that is what we have assigned to their value. It's agreement. It's something that we've all, from a philosophical level, say, if you hand me this is what it's worth, when it's literally the same thing from a literal perspective. It's just the same piece of paper. Yeah. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might got different words on it, got different letters, got different, inks, got different imprints, got different little strips and whatever in it. Nevertheless, this is a piece of paper. Yeah. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's about the value that we assign to these things. And I think that the best and most more beneficial and the biggest difference factor is the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency. Yeah. Is that we're not truly bound to this one singular type of currency. And I think that that's something that we really, really, really need to get into, because that if we see it as something that if we keep attaching ourselves to the old ways of money, the wealth gap will increase. It's going to already increase in a stupid way. So I really need everybody to just understand, like, you're going to keep having to answer these questions of like what the metaverse is, what all these things are. So
it's an ever developing thing.
Yeah, it's ever developing. We're literally creating a world. I think people consider the metaverse to just kind of be this VR just game. Like, I'm not even a gamer. Why should I care? And it's like, it's not a game no more. This is real life. It's real. Yeah. It has real life happening. The metaverse will not just be places where people can quote unquote playing a game will be one of the probably the smallest facters. Yeah, metaverse.
Playing a game was the introduction to what a metaverse, like the metaverse, like Sims was an introduction to the metaverse. Shit, you could even like make an argument that it's a game, but Grand Theft Auto was an introduction to what the metaverse could be. Not saying that people are gonna go out and start robbing people and shit like that and doing crazy things, but But no,
just open world, doing what you want.
Exactly.
Living as this avatar, which I think, will have some interesting implications in terms of just appropriation and racial shit. Cause I can imagine people definitely jumping out because they now can make themselves look like whatever.
Yeah.
Them choosing to be so many different things, not even just racial shit. I think it's going to be some genderisms. There's going to be a lot of different shit happening with that people are going to really, it's going to be very problematic at first. I highly suggest for everybody, if you have HBO Max or any type of streaming platform that may have this, to definitely check out Ready Player One. I believe Ready Player One certainly was on to something. I believe it's based from a book. I believe Ready Player One is based from a book. And was adapted by Steven Spielberg a few years ago. It's a great fucking game, a great fucking movie, but it's definitely based on a game. But it's even in this game, this is the world. And I think the difference between us and them is, I think, unlike the Ready Player One world, I think we're gonna have a way more integrated life with this sense of technology. We already are being driven to have wearable technology with us at all times. Apple Watches. Fitbits, all types of shit. And they're already increasingly becoming even more valuable. I think it was, I feel like it was on an episode I think it was an episode of Breakfast Club when Aaron Leisure was on and they was talking about how Apple literally, has basically saved a man's life because he had an Apple Watch on and it was monitoring his heart rate and they immediately called an emergency and they was able to get to him. Yeah. And he's alive now.
Yeah. Apple, man.
I think he fell out like hiking or something like that. Yeah. Either way, it's like, damn, like kind of hard to beat that. Like that saved one life. And I can only imagine, how often it's telling people to stay active, get up and move. Hey, you haven't been drinking water in a minute. Hey, because it's going to keep getting more and more intuitive. Yeah. The more and more we get into it and the more and more information you give it, it's going to get more and more intuitive. That's how these things are going to work. Yeah. I think they're going to figure out this Apple glasses or whoever going to have the glasses definitely going to
be Oculus, and I know Samsung has their own thing as well. So.
Yeah, all that bulky shit with the VR, that shit going to get a lot simpler. That shit going to get a lot sleeker. You can just put that shit on and walk around with that motherfucker if you want to. And have this half and half world that you living in where you still in the Metaverse, but also in reality being able to interact with things. I think it's going to be twofold because I don't think they want, I don't think that it's beneficial to the powers that be for the real world to dwindle in terms of experience and money that they can gather from that. No, this is just another way to get it. Radio didn't, TV didn't go away when radio didn't go away when TV was invented. Mm-hmm. TV didn't go away when internet was invented. Mm-hmm. Internet didn't go away when social media was invented. It's continuously just adding on to these different tech booms. You feel me? Yeah. And I feel like Metaverse is something that everybody needs to understand, figure out how they can be a part of it, understand how the things are going to work. I think, yes, we're definitely going to move to some type of decentralized currency. I think these meme coins and these different coins that are coming out are going to find use cases. And they're going to be some also gunning for that top spot. Yeah. Gunning for like, no, we are the majority used Bitcoin of this country or this global or the globe even. Yeah. Because that's what we're capable of doing now. Like you can now, like unlike any other time, we can now possibly have the exact same level of currency as us to a whole nother country that may be similar.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So it's the opportunity. The opportunity of it all is one that is crazy and just astronomical. And even more than that, what I also predict to keep it decentralized is that it'll probably just be an exchange for the ones that have use cases like Ethereum and all these other coins that maybe already are being utilized for specific things. Yeah. I think they're going to just have exchange rates. Like if I got this much Bitcoin, but I need some more Ethereum to go and purchase this NFT or purchase this digital thing. Yeah. This is more than likely it'll be some type of exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I got to give this much of my Bitcoin, this to get this much Ethereum. This is what the value of the exchange will be. Bam, bam. And I think that's essentially what we'll have to be. We'll have to have awareness, and already everyone will have a diversified, not only portfolio, but a diversified sense of currency. Yeah. Because you kind of have to,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So get into it. It's virtual. So get into this sense of just virtual reality, the Metaverse, Web 3.0, cryptocurrency and NFTs, go and start just researching the things. Like more than likely, this is going to be the new wave. Right now, some of the most valuable jobs, I was literally just saying this early this morning before I called you, is I was on the phone. I was just like, it's crazy. I'm noticing how everybody who has a job with either an IT or cybersecurity pretty much seemed like the pathway to a great life. All those people, I feel like everybody that I follow that has that, they're doing really good for themselves right now.
Yeah, man, because they have an understanding of it. And like, I feel like,
they have all the things, because those jobs automatically are remote. Those jobs are automatically understanding exactly what it is, and they're high paying. So it's like you're getting a lot in that situation, and they're very simple, fairly simple, because they're technical. So it's really just about, all right, this the issue, this the problem, okay, fix it. This the issue, this the problem, okay, fix it. Unlike, having to have a philosophical principle or some type of particular method. It's just literally understanding what this thing is and what the solution can be. It never will get too far away from you, because it's a technical thing. It's like, can it turn on? Is the power on? Is it plugged in? Like, it's real easy to kind of process and diagnose what the thing is. But it's interesting. It's just
the thing is, like, the metaverse is here, right? And it's never gonna go away until it becomes obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere down the line, maybe 120, whatever, how many years from now. But you're right, man. When Ernie Leisure made the Breakfast Club, and they brought up Ian Dunlap, the master investor, like, they talk about that. They talk about the metaverse. They talk about stocks, obviously, but they explain the importance of the metaverse. And if you dabble into it now, if you just do your research, one of the guys that I follow on Instagram is the Wall Street Trapper, and he talks about how he paid a couple million, I think, for some property or some real estate in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because, like, in the metaverse is just somewhere you can just go to go, like in the movie Ready Player One. When the movie, you see how he's like, the character just like loves to race, and they have these races. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to figure out, unlock this key, because they're trying to figure out this one guy's that created the entire, like, digital universe that they're in. He has like this hidden gemstone somewhere else, right? So anyway, but Hill Harper one time was actually a guest on the Earn Your Leisure pod, and for those of you who don't know who Hill Harper is, he's an actor, he's a
author.
Yeah, he's an author. Yeah. He's an entrepreneur. He's one of the co-creators of Black Wall Street, or co-founders of the Black Wall Street app. He's just really smart. He's an intelligent individual. And he talks about how each black man and woman should own a Satoshi, or 1 million Satoshis. And Satoshi is the smallest unit of Bitcoin currency. Mm-hmm. So it's like 0.0000001 Bitcoin. So, for example, 1 Bitcoin would equal 30,000 yen, right? So 1 Satoshi would equal 0.00003 Japanese yen.
Damn.
Right. So that's to kind of put it in perspective. Now, what he's saying is, like, each household or each person should hold 1 million. You know what I mean? So if you, and like, people.
So what does that transfer to in Bitcoin then?
Man, I don't even know. A lot. So if 1 Bitcoin is 30,000 Japanese yen, right? And obviously that's subjective because it does fluctuate.
Yeah, gotcha.
I would say, well, if we're going by that math, so 30, 60, 90, so maybe like 4 or 5 Bitcoins would equal 1 million yen. But I don't know if that transferred over to the US dollar.
Yeah. And also another thing that cryptocurrency can actually present is, because it fluctuates in that way, like the value of it fluctuates in that way, everybody's affected.
Everybody.
So if you have a lot of Bitcoin, you might be affected a little less than me.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
like if you had 20 Bitcoins and I had one, I would be more affected by the drop of a Bitcoin than you would, because you'd still have so much more Bitcoin.
Which is very much how it is in the world to a certain degree, but but the economics are way more direct. It's not a indirect economic situation. It's like, no, you're feeling this. Yes.
And people,
you're not worth that much today.
People who aren't privy to, cryptocurrency is like they only think of the tangibles. Like, you can physically hold a dollar, and I understand you can't physically hold a Bitcoin, but you can use Bitcoin now to buy shit.
Crypto.com. That's what matters.
Yes. Crypto.com came out with these crazy credit cards. And by crazy, I mean like crazy good. You know what I mean? They have these great perks that come with these credit cards. You just have to hold some Bitcoin. You have to hold crypto.com's coin, and obviously have a good credit score, I think, to get the card. But there's different levels to, like, they have like different tiers. It's crazy. Like just like air travel, like almost every industry is now tapped into the cryptocurrency space. Yeah. Especially like large banks, which as they should.
Staples Center has been changed to crypto.com arena.
You see what I'm saying? So like that's huge.
That's huge. That's huge.
You got to think like the idea or like the thought of a Staples is essentially non-existent. You know what I mean? Everybody buys shit on Amazon or online. So like the brick and mortar is no longer a necessity. And what a like symbolic way of showing that. Like what's like fuck off these stores and shit y'all go to. It's we're in the future now. You're in now, baby. For the fellas that are listening, man, this is great barbershop talk, right? And maybe ladies do this in their hair salons, or maybe when they're getting their nails done, but for the fellas, like if you're like in a barbershop, like I was talking to my barber about this, and we were just all constantly talking about, the metaverse. And the guy was like, I don't understand the point of the metaverse. And I'm like, well, there's a lot that goes into it. It's just not just one factor. You know what I mean? Like people are going to conduct business in the metaverse. People are going to live in the metaverse. I talked about space travel, right? Like we are going to need to do something. If we're not somebody that's actually working on the aircraft or the spacecraft that's taking us to Mars, like what are we going to be doing in that time? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the purpose of the metaverse, is to conduct your business. You know what I mean? Hop into the metaverse, take care of your business during the travel from Earth to Mars. And I know people are thinking like, this dude thinks we're going to Mars. Yes. You know what I mean? 100 years ago, we were barely like scratching the surface when it came to like the automobile industry. Same thing with flying. And 100 years before that, and nobody would, like, people were still riding horseback. You see what I'm saying? So like, if you think in terms of time like that, like imagine the year, like we're 2021. Now imagine the year 2121. Yep. You see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that going to look like? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna evolve. Things are gonna get become imaginary to a certain degree. Because I mean, that is where we're moving to. I do agree with you on that. Like a lot of like the way that we live is going to become obsolete. People aren't going to live the way that we lived 100 years from now. And it's not and it's not sustainable in the same way. Because like imagine if you can still get the intrinsic benefit and just whatever you need from a particular action within the metaverse, and now we don't have to worry about having a whole business for such. Yeah. You know, it is what it is, because it's just a transference that has to happen. Like, but that's why I say everybody needs to tap in, because everybody has to tap in, because in terms of, you know, just the wealth gap right now, it's astronomical. Yeah. It's really astronomical. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, because we're talking about something that is extremely, extremely lucrative, being the metaverse, all these different things. So people who are starting coins, who are creating NFTs, who are mining cryptocurrency right now. Everything, bro. So many different things. There's a way to get in where you fit in. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I fit in for real, because it's such a just buy right now, man. It's a lot of things happening. But I can tell that, you know, there's a pathway for so many different creatives and so many different people to make sure they're benefiting from the most from this. Because it feels very much like right now, because it's the Wild West to a certain degree, that we can pinch off a lot of things that can genuinely be for us and be for us, be beneficial to us forever. When you're talking about just, you know, the idea of the way the blockchain works and how you can create a piece of art and forever get paid for it. That is something that is revolutionary. That is something that has never been done before, where the ownership of your own IP has always been up for negotiation. And now it's pretty much locked in to always be yours. And that's multi-mediums. You know what I'm saying? There's people who've done this with albums, musics, podcasts, all different types of shit. So it's only going to steadily increase. And you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. And I believe people are going to be able to house this shit in their metaverse ass house, and they virtual on this virtual land that they bought, and they're going to literally be able to put their NFT, the virtual versions of their NFTs,
all over they motherfucking virtual crib that they bought in their virtual neighborhood.
Yeah.
That is it. That is all.
I'm gonna have a dope virtual house. It's gonna look nice.
Hell yeah. And and like that's the thing.
It'll be in the virtual mountain somewhere.
Imagine, you know, just all your dreams just coming true. Like you being able to fly, being able to conquer, because I think that's what's gonna be the thing. Like I think Ian Dunlap has said something about like, you know, how people in the mental health space need to, you know, get into this, like how they need to lean into this. Cause it is just that. It's like, you can't keep fighting saying that, we already are on our phones too much. We already addicted to screens. We already doing all this. And it's like, yeah, but they ain't gonna stop.
Yeah, no, dude.
There's nothing stopping it. And it's kind of like, we can continue to try to fight the change, but trust me, it's going to leave us in the dirt. It's going to leave people real far behind. It's going to leave you looking like you still got an iPhone 7.
So the way that I look at it, right, and that's a perfect example.
Like, it's gonna be like, oh, I can't.
If you still got an iPhone 7, dog,
it's gonna be looking very much like you got an iPhone 7 and a Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Hello. I cannot hear you.
You gotta tap your ear.
Yeah, like it's gonna look like you are so far behind.
Yeah.
And where everybody is and what to do and to keep you up with the things. It's gonna be crazy.
Look, man, and so here's how I see it, right? I'm looking at time the way like because I started to invest in like just the way that I understand now how money works. Mm-hmm. I started to look at time differently as well, right? Like now I'm not like a year. Yes, a year is a long time, you know, in retrospect, but in reality, it's not. Like this year flew by when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really did. A lot of shit has happened. But the year has gone by really quick. Now, if you think about time like that and you add in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's really not that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you set goals for yourself, obviously you can achieve them if you just stay disciplined. But when it comes to the technology, like we need it. You know what I mean? Because if we try to live like this 100 years from now, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Like how we want to be interplanetary and travel between planets and our moon. Mm-hmm. It would never happen. You know what I'm saying? We need people like Elon Musk to stretch the limits of our expectations. You know what I'm saying? And like to be boundless, essentially. This dude is landing rockets. Like, I don't even know how to explain that. You know what I mean? Like, like when he talks about how, like what he's truly invested in, he's like, 99 or 90% of the time, I'm learning engineering shit. Like I'm always learning how to build new things. And I'm thinking like, that's the kind of level that people need to get to when it comes to like the metaverse. You know what I mean? To have a full understanding. Cause I fully don't understand it either, but that doesn't mean I'm not in tune with it. But you could also find people that could teach you, like Earn Your Leisure. You know what I mean? Like those guys don't pay me to say anything, bro. I've learned so much from them over the past year that I started a business. I got into real estate. I started investing into stocks. I'm understanding what the metaverse is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have known any of that shit had I not subscribed to their podcast or just hopped on their YouTube channel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it would behoove you to do your research on them. And if you're interested in learning things like that, sign up with them. And, again, I would implore that you guys do your research on the stock market, the metaverse, real estate, anything that you can do to not only make $1, but that where you can like take with you, you know what I'm saying? You can just like, it's just like this, I guess you can call it like a physical or a tangible asset to your life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I agree. I just really want people to understand that, we all have to find where we understand where the world is moving and not be behind any more than we need to be. Right. Because that's the thing. Us learning about what all these things are now is because these things have been happening. Now it's getting to a point to where they got to tell us. Yeah. Because now we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And they can't keep certain things away for too long because they need the public to boost it up to be able to get the earnings they can get from it. But the plans for these things have already been set in motion. True. These people have already been on top of their things. They've already been ahead of the game. We're never really playing catch up with people who are already deep into the game. Yeah. So why miss the train? Why miss the train? Get on it and figure out where it makes sense for you. I do understand the anxiety that people have around finances, money, so many different things. But I think the only way that we can really propel ourselves past that is seeing this shit as energy.
more than anything. That's really it. Cryptocurrency, all these different currencies are very similar to money is energy. We all believe this thing is what it is. So we all believe this thing is what it is. And I want you to think about the people who have so much of it, why it keeps coming to them. It just is what it is. And we got to get past ourselves and change our definitions of what money is to us, so that we can continuously attract it to ourselves. Because that's the point that really fucks us up, because we've attached money to obligation, obligation to work, labor, toil, things you really rather not do. Everybody would love to just be given $1 million. No one ever wants to work for a fucking $1 million. And I think that's human nature. I think that's very smart as well. Like if somebody just wants to give you $1 million, yes, take it. Why not? Yeah. Like, why not? No strings attached, take the money. Yeah. But we live in a world where now we feel like we have to work, but we have to do all these things, and we got to change our mindset on all those things. We got to figure out a way to choose ease, and also, but also change our definitions of what money is, so we can attract that shit to us. Money can be freedom. Money can be peace of mind. Yeah. Money could be grace. Money could be tranquility, and you want that shit all day. You want that all the time. So you want to attract that to you. If that's what money really means to you, you want to attract that to you. But if you make money just mean work and some shit you need just to pay your bill, then it's gonna feel hard, and it's not gonna come to you that quick because you really don't like it.
Like you got to first of all, you got to manifest it, right? Like the universe, like will set you up if you take the time to do the research. Now, if you live paycheck to paycheck, obviously that means you're putting more money out than you are saving or bringing in. Then you're just going to continue to do that, and the money's just the money's also going to treat you that way. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go out quicker than you can bring it back. Yeah. But for those of y'all that are struggling financially, man, like that just are looking for something to help you. Yeah. Yes. Earn Your Leisure can help. But look up the meaning of compound interest. You know what I'm saying? When you understand that, then you understand like why it's important to not only save your money, but invest it. And then the next thing is, if you're like, for the most part, you know what I mean? Like so many people, especially of color, struggle with credit. Like fix your credit. Because if your credit is all messed up and you need to, you don't know why you can't get your hands on a credit card just because your credit is trash. But, when you fix your credit, man, it's crazy. Like it's powerful it's crazy how powerful credit is. You know what I'm saying? Like once you have good credit, like these companies, these major banks will just give you credit cards. They'll just throw them out. You know what I mean? You'll get emails, you'll get spammed. You'll get newsletters in the mail. Pre-approval letters, all these things. Like it's crazy how like it'll literally change. So if you just think about it that way, and you understand like how money can actually work for you rather than you work for your money, I promise you, like life is different. So But with all that being said, man, that's all I got for this week. What, you got anything else?
Nah, man, just follow me everywhere at Kings_Memoirs. Follow the Simply King podcast everywhere. Yes. Subscribe, like, rate, and share the shits. Please follow the Simply King Pod page at Simply King Pod on IG, and Simply King Podcast on Facebook. Appreciate y'all, and do the same. You guys can follow me on Instagram at JakeMajor_. I still have my real estate page, Agent J210. The Instagram page or the social media handles for this pod, I promise, are coming. Rodney him and I were talking about how we're going to put some things together for the visuals. I'm excited for that too. So, but again, thanks everybody for rocking with us. We appreciate it. We want to, at least come at you twice before, or maybe one more time before the holidays, or it's Christmas and New Year's. You going back to Tennessee for New Year's, man? Or for Christmas? That's the plan. That's the plan.
All right, man. Well, that was great. So, man, but until then, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see what happens next in this crazy world, and then we'll bring y'all the news. But I appreciate everybody listening. This is always fun for me, for us to do. But with that being said, man, this is the Underground Culture Podcast. We are out. Peace.